Steve Robbins here. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Feedback. If you're like me, you're just full of useful advice that you want to give everyone you meet. Whenever you see them doing something, you're just bursting with the impulse to tell them how they can do it even better. If it's something they do poorly, you can help them do it well. And if it's something that they're an expert in and you have no experience with the topic to speak of, you still just know deep in your bones that they can benefit from the brilliant insights that flow endlessly from your crisp, clear, quality thinking. In my case, I just put all that great information out on my podcast, secure in the knowledge that I'm changing the world. And yet, there are some people out there who just don't recognize my brilliance. Once in a while, someone writes in and they say, I love the concept behind your podcast, but could you just get to the point and skip the humor and the chattiness? Your sense of humor sucks. Your podcast would be better if it were a dry, monotone program, and you should just recite only the useful information packaged for my personal convenience. You can imagine how privileged I feel that someone who is downloading my hard work for free is willing to take the time to write and tell me how I should change it because they don't like my style. From their point of view, they're being helpful. From my point of view, I hope their Oreo ice cream cake melts before they can have a slice. That's because no one appreciates unsolicited feedback unless it's unconditionally flattering. Not even me. Do give advice when asked. If someone asks for advice, that's one thing. Give them advice. When you're giving the advice, make sure to avoid value judgments about the way they currently do things. We know you're thinking it, just don't say it out loud. Don't say, first off, the grammar, the spelling, punctuation, style, tone, formatting, margins, and content of your report really sucks. Make it easier to read. When you're judgmental, your target gets defensive and stops listening. Also, as hard as it is to believe, this person may know better than you. If you make fun of their stupidity and you turn out to be the one who's wrong, you'll fall into a deep depression, become addicted to Skittles and orange soda, get a bad complexion, and ruin your chances for love in this lifetime. That would be bad. Be non-judgmental and make your advice specific. Make it easier to read? Too vague. Explain how to make it easier to read. Say something like, make your headings bold so they stand out more. That is specific advice. Ask before giving unsolicited advice. When someone doesn't ask for advice, they probably won't be thrilled to be getting it. Start by asking permission to give advice, and even so, be careful. Even something as innocuous as, I have a suggestion for how you could do this better, implies that what they're doing now isn't good enough. Phrase your question in terms of your own non-judgmental experience. I noticed that you're indenting your paragraphs by typing spaces. I used to do that too, and then I found a quicker way to do it. Would you like me to share it with you? Honor their no. This is where you get to practice listening. Yes means yes, and if they say yes, you're ready to give your advice. No, however, means no. If a person says no, they won't listen to you. I know you're just bursting to impress with your brilliance, but your friend simply isn't interested. Go start a blog or a podcast, and then people who are interested will listen to you. But if you really, really, really know that a person needs your advice and will appreciate you once they've heard it, you can try persuading them to listen. Mentally, put yourself in their shoes. If you were this person, what would your goals be? If they're writing a sales report, their goals could include finishing their project, impressing their boss, getting a promotion, or having the satisfaction of seeing the product in the hands of millions of people. You can even ask them, what are your goals with this report? The worst they can do is refuse to answer. Once you know their goals, frame your feedback in those terms. For this to work, get agreement on the goals first, and then ask permission again. You're working really hard on this report. Do you think this will be the report that gets you promoted to not quite grand poobah? Yes, is the reply. I sure hope so. I have an idea for you how you could increase your chances of becoming not quite grand poobah even better. Would you like to hear it? If they say no, it's a fine time to change the topic and discuss pop culture or your favorite TV show, like Breaking Bad. Nothing takes your mind off a marketing report like figuring out how to run a successful meth lab. Be prepared for rejection. Even if they listen, there's no guarantee they'll take your advice. Once you've given it, know that you've done all you can. If you have a deep emotional need for your advice to be followed, you just have to let it go. Get a therapist. Maybe they'll follow it, maybe they won't. If you hound, however, neither of you will have a good time. Next time you're tempted to give unsolicited feedback or advice, stop. Ask permission, honor the person's answer. Be non-judgmental and specific if the person says yes. If the answer is no, your best bet is to drop it or link the advice to their highest goals. Once you've said your piece, sit back, relax, and let it ride. And no, guy who wrote in complaining about my sense of humor, I won't change. Unless you pay me. I'm available for one-on-one coaching, workshops, webinars, and speeches. And if you're the client, I'll take any advice you have to offer on what would make my material that much more valuable to you. And we'll negotiate price accordingly. Visit www.steverobbins.com, that's STEVERROBBINS.com, for more information. This is Steve Robbins. Send your questions and unsolicited feedback to getitdone@quickanddirtytips.com. I consult with people on how to give and receive good feedback, advice, and direction. If you want to know more, visit steverobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.